All right, g'day everyone. Welcome back to Nadlin Forum Podcast Daily. I'm Ruby, and with me as always is Lior. Today we're chatting about something that sounds, a bit like science fiction at first, but I promise it's real, blockchain in commercial real estate. Leah, do you remember years ago when people were buying homes with Bitcoin and everyone thought that was wild?
Yeah, absolutely, Ruby. I think actually we saw the headlines about the first Bitcoin home sale maybe, a decade ago. But honestly, beneath the hype, most deals ended up with someone converting crypto back into US dollars anyway. The flashy news was mostly symbolic.
Exactly. But what's cool now, well, I think it's cool, is that it's not the cryptocurrency itself that's shaking things up right now. It's the tech behind it, the blockchain architecture. I read Tony Giordano describe it as a virtual filing cabinet for the planet, right? It's like a giant secure digital drawer where billions of real estate transactions, property titles, documents, all the stuff you usually lose in your actual filing cabinet can be stashed without risk. No more stressing about a coffee spill on your only deed.
Yeah, and the security piece is huge. With blockchain, data is basically written in stone, Once that transaction's in, you need consensus from everyone on the network to change anything. That's why institutions and regulators love it. I mean, with commercial property, these are serious, multi-layer transactions, and nobody wants, room for error.
Oh, absolutely. And I actually got to tour this high-tech property platform in Sydney a while back. All the title records were blockchain powered. You kind of walk in expecting to see stacks of paper and stressed out people, but instead it was just clean, digital, and super quick. You could trace the history of a building in seconds, not days or weeks, like I remember from my mum's conveyancing horror stories.
Smart contracts on blockchain also open up new possibilities. They're not only about recording who owns what, but can manage leasing, payments, even link with, let's say, smart city infrastructure or public services. It's moving everything from dusty cabinet to, as you said, a virtual shelf where nothing goes missing. Tony Giordano isn't exaggerating, I think, when he says nearly every real estate deal is going to touch blockchain soon. Just like everyone's expecting title insurance today, soon it'll be, is this property on the chain?
And that kind of brings us around to my favorite bit, tokenization. Not to get nerdy, but this idea that you can split up ownership of a commercial building into digital tokens that anyone can buy, that's just wild, right? You don't need millions sitting around to invest in a financial district tower. Memories of getting turned down for an apartment rental in Melbourne are haunting me, but now you could just buy a slice. Lior, you've got a proper example from Tel Aviv, haven't you?
Yes. So we had this intriguing case in Tel Aviv. There's an office building, prime location, and the ownership got split into tokens. Basically, instead of a handful of massive investors, it let smaller international players buy a share. Some had, 10%? Some were in for 1%, or even much smaller. Suddenly, people without deep pockets got exposure to real estate deals that were locked away for them before.
And that's not just good for the little guys either. I was digging through a Deloitte report, look at me pretending to be all academic, and they're projecting that by 2035, tokenized real estate assets globally could blow past $4 trillion. I mean, right now we're not even at $300 billion. It's wild to think how much liquidity could get unlocked. Imagine just buying and selling shares of a building like you would with a stock, maybe even 24/7.
Exactly. It could make property deals way faster with much lower minimum investment. Only real caveat right now, and I want to clarify, I think in the US, there are regulatory hurdles for buying tokenized property, but globally, some markets are further along. We'll probably see a patchwork adoption, but the trend is set. Tokenization could be bigger than even, the invention of the real estate investment trust. for lowering the bar to entry.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder about the knock-on effects. Like, will smaller players start to chip away at those huge institutional portfolios? Or maybe people just invest in little bits all around the world. Oh, and we shouldn't breeze past this. It's not only about owning, but also about how fast and transparent deals could be.
And that leads us right into what I think actually gets the finance nerds most excited, Ruby. Blockchain meets AI. Now, instead of spending months fiddling with paperwork and meeting endless compliance checks, imagine transferring a mortgage bond from property to property. There are companies like BV Innovation comes to mind using blockchain to make mortgage bonds totally transferable. And with AI, the risk on the new property is automatically checked, right? So you move your 4.5% mortgage rate from a $20 million property to the next one. No penalty, just like that.
I used to work in media, and believe me, there's nothing like that level of automation. I had an investor client, well, a friend really, who recently closed a $10 million commercial deal in days. Days, not months. And he was gobsmacked because the lender did everything on blockchain. Paperwork zipped digitally, AI checked all the numbers, and mate, before he finished his weekend golf, it was done.
Right. And most borrowers, let's be honest, they don't care about the back-end tech. What matters is, do I save millions on penalties? Is my deal secure? And do I get my money faster? Blockchain, paired with AI, it removes intermediaries, slashes costs, and gives extra transparency. I saw an estimate, Ruby, that some folks say you can cut transaction costs by 50% and shrink closing times from months to just days.
It's a huge deal, especially after all those episodes we've done lately about tight credit and market volatility. Remember when we talked about the scramble for faster, more secure financing during that whole shutdown risk a few weeks back? This tech is showing up at the perfect time for the industry. You don't need to be a blockchain whiz or an AI expert. Just, does it work for you? And it kind of seems like it does.
Yeah, the bottom line is, commercial real estate's not just dipping a toe in the digital water. The next decade, as the experts see it, will transform not simply the ownership, but how everything in the process connects. Real estate, finance, ownership. It's all getting digitized, tokenized, borderless, if you like. Anyway, Ruby, I could talk about this all day, but I know we gotta wrap.
No, you're right. We better save some for next time. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Blockchain's rolling into property fast. Make sure you don't miss the next wave. Lior, as always, appreciate your wisdom, even if you did nerd out there. Catch you next time.
Always, Ruby. Thanks everyone for listening. Stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.